the starting lineups for the third game of this best of 7. Mark Ivaroni and Marcus Johnson at one forward position. Julius Irving, who's nursing some sore knees. Junior Bridgman, who's starting his second game of this playoff. Moses Malone and Bob Lanier. Lanier, the veteran, he's had his knee problems at center. Andrew Toney and Sidney Moncrief at one guard position. And Maurice Cheeks and Ryan Winters, who's starting in this game at the other guard spot. Jack Madden and Hugh Evans are the officials. The alternate is Ed Middleton. The Milwaukee Bucks have played Philadelphia close, but as you can see, came up empty twice, losing that first game in overtime and the second game by 6 points. Milwaukee is in the home white, Philadelphia in the traveling red. Philadelphia is 6-0 in the playoffs so far this postseason, but all of their games have been hard-fought games. Marcus Johnson, this is the first shot. Junior Bridgman keeps it alive. Lanier inside. And a foul to boot. That's a way to get this crowd kept up.
Doesn't take much. Not here.
Mark Ivaroni's foul, and Milwaukee with a chance to move in front 3.
Now, what we want to watch for to see if the changes that Don Nelson will produce the desired results. He wanted to make sure his team got off to a good start because every game that they've lost in this section, they've gotten off to a slow start scoring.
Even against Boston in their sweep, they got off to slow starts in those games. He wants a change. Julius Irving off the rim, and we'll have a loose ball foul against Milwaukee.
Well, that's a good way to get in good position to get the rebound.
Junior Bridgman commits the foul. Now we talk about what Don Nelson wants from Bridgman and Winters offensively. What do these two do for Milwaukee on defense?
Well, they're not as strong as the other as the kids were. I call them kids, Lister and Presley. They're not as strong defensively, but they are better shooters.
Now look at Bob Lanier.
And
Bob Lanier's been hit with a technical foul. Technical on Lanier, and he gets hit with the personal foul as well. How important is it for Lanier to avoid foul trouble early here?
It's very important because I think with these changes that Don Nelson made, Lanier will possibly or probably have to play more minutes so that when they make the transition with the substitutes, there's a different quality, different skills coming in. And so he may have to play more minutes to adjust for these changing periods and the substitutions.
Bob Lanier, who had a problem with foul and holding Andrew Toney, and Billy Cunningham had some words for him in game number 2. So Lanier has had some extraneous problems here. Julius Irving connected on the technical foul. Block inside. Marcus Johnson coming down all the way for the Bucks. Brian Winters on the follow-up, and we have a foul against Milwaukee the other way. Bob Lanier blocked Maurice Cheeks' attempt inside and one in, but Brian Winters has committed his first personal foul. 3 team fouls already on Milwaukee, and we have just about a minute going by. Here's the block by Lanier.
And then fast break, that's good. He kept the ball in play, but they didn't score on it. And that's what they have to do. They have to take every opportunity they have. They have to score.
Toney misses. Lanier clears, and here's Bridgman. Coming off the pick is Sidney Moncrief. Moncrief scored 21 points in game 2 after a 1-for-7 effort in game number 1. Cheeks misses. Marcus Johnson. He's had 2 outstanding games for Don Nelson. Bridgman working on Julius. Inside, Marcus Johnson tried to keep it alive. Breaking the other way is Irving. Julius against Winters. Winters tries to fake a charge. Nothing called. And Marcus Johnson at the other end. Well, the Bucks so far getting off to a pretty good start.
So far, it looks like it's working. You know, when the coach makes the kind of change that Don Nelson made, it's because he has such a feel for his team. He knows how that guy's going to react emotionally.
Moses Malone handling the ball for the first time in the game. Misses from way out. Irving keeps it going, and it's out of bounds. Milwaukee ball. Philadelphia has missed its first 5 shots from the field. And there is Don Nelson, a Midwesterner, born in Muskegon, Michigan, grew up in Rock Island, Illinois. Played his college ball at Iowa.
Now, you notice that when Winters brings the ball up, Philadelphia puts a lot of pressure on that because they want him to concentrate on bringing the ball up and then maybe take his shooting off a little bit.
The New Yorker, Billy Cunningham, born and bred in Brooklyn, New York. It's 9-1 on Lanier's basket. And the Bucks and their fans are sky high. Cheeks. Julius Erving inside over Lanier, and a fine finger roll by Julius Erving, who is 3 for 11 from the field and only 6 points in game 2. And look for him to try to score more. Every 76er starter except for Erving is shooting 50% or better so far. Brian Winters with a runner. Winters again. Malone, the rebound. Leading rebounder in the series for both sides. Andrew Toney. Can't leave Maurice Cheeks open anymore. He'll burn you. And it's now 9-5.
And you're getting quite a pushing match between Ivorone and Junior Bridgman because Ivorone has a height advantage and Bridgman's keeping contact with him, and Ivorone doesn't quite like that.
Ivorone guarded Marcus Johnson in the first half of game 2 in Philadelphia. Maurice Cheeks, you'll watch him double teaming all over the court. Bridgman from the corner.
And those are the shots that the Philadelphia defense is giving up. They're double teaming Marcus.
Out of bounds, Philly ball.
And Lanier. And the idea is to make him shoot the outside and make that shot that Brian Winters just made.
Of course, one of the things Don Nelson wants to do on offense is to have Brian Winters shoot the long shot and keep Maurice Cheeks anchored to one spot.
Because that's a strength and a weakness of the Philadelphia team. If they
Maurice Cheeks misses this one, and here's Sidney Moncrief, 3-on-3, Milwaukee. Moncrief winner. Tony's given Moncrief the shot. He's short there. And Julius the rebound. He's short down court. Actually, Andrew Toney had beaten Lanier, but the pass bounced to Andrew Toney. And it's an 11-7 game, and there's Lanier and Toney hooking up again.
Toney actually ran into Sidney Moncrief because the outlet pass right over his head.
Less than 7.5 remaining first period. Brian Winters going to the hoop. Julius Erving, the rebound to Ivorone. Get the ball to Cheeks. Cheeks goes past Winters. Finds Julius Erving in a crowd of white shirts and is fouled. That'll be the 4th team foul against Milwaukee, and it's the second personal foul on Brian Winters. Shooting so far in the game, and keep in mind Milwaukee's going with 2 good shooters starting in Winters and Bridgman. Julius Erving with 5 points. He has 5 of Philadelphia's 9. And now the Sixers, who are down 9-1, trail by only 2. Malone on Lanier. Patented left-handed hook. 3 for 3 for the Dauber, as they call him. Bob Lanier in his 13th season, 8 times an All-Star, and playing with knees that would make 68-year-old man cringe. Inside Malone. Malone fights again, loses it. Out of the pack comes Marcus Johnson. He has Bridgman, pulls up. And a foul. It'll be against Philadelphia, and it'll be against Julius Erving.
On the shot.
Remaining in the first period. Milwaukee's leading. Bill didn't. I need more juice. Bill didn't hear the count at all. You didn't hear the count, Bill?
No. I can hear you now, but when the crowd's up, I can't hear it. That's whoever's doing. I could not. Look, I couldn't hear the countdown at all.
We're off to a good start, fellas.
That's better.
We're off to a good start, boy. We're letting the game take it. And that's the end. Now we're going to go back to our old way. I got you. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're not going to talk about that game other than what happened last night. You keep Malone's rebounds and scoring on a... Thank you. Who, Bridgman and Winters?
Yeah.
What are you going to show me coming out? Can I see it? Okay. It's 13-9 Milwaukee. Last night in Game 3 in San Antonio, the Lakers, with a great third period, defeated San Antonio 113-100. Jamal Wilkes at 26, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 25. Lakers lead 2-1. And tomorrow afternoon we have regional coverage on CBS. Philadelphia against Milwaukee Game 4 here at the Milwaukee Arena, or Los Angeles and San Antonio Game 4 at the Hemisphere Arena live, 1 o'clock Eastern Time.
Now what Billy Cunningham has got his team in. They've made the adjustment to the chain lineup that Milwaukee made. And Don Nelson, on the other hand, has to try to get back to his regular substitution rotation. They've got off to a good start. They're even or ahead now, and now they have to try to make the adjustments now in the substitution. And this is where I say he'll have to change the length of playing time so that he doesn't get a too drastic change when he goes to the bench.
The Milwaukee Bucks have never gotten this far under Don Nelson. They accomplished it with a 4-game sweep of the Celtics. No one had ever done that before. And the Bucks find themselves in an 0-2 hole against Philadelphia, and the 76ers playing very well. Billy Cunningham told us yesterday at practice, we're playing as good a team defense as we can play, but we have not reached our offensive potential yet. Bridgman hits the free throws, and it's a 6-point Milwaukee lead.
So far, what Don Nelson has tried has worked.
All the way, Tony, blocked by Lanier, taken out by Junior Bridgman, 3-on-1 fast break. Bridgman shuffles it off to Winters, who loses the ball out of bounds. You cannot afford to miss a 3-on-1 like that.
No, and he should have stopped at the foul line. But what happens is they don't have a real point guard, and so they have different guys running a fast break, and it's hard to coordinate a fast break. A fast break is an intricate play as you have in basketball.
Ivoroni has played well in 2 games. We'll have a foul. It'll be on Marcus Johnson, and that'll be the 5th team foul against Milwaukee. And coming into the ball game, the substitutions, which will follow closely. Alton Lister, who had been the starter in Game 1. Bob Lanier goes out of the ball game. So now Lister will play the center position, and Marcus Johnson will be up front with Junior Bridgman.
And we'll look for Philadelphia to go to Moses more now, because the bumping and shoving that he and Bob Lanier do, Lister can't do that.
If there's one thing Philadelphia has not really excelled in so far, it's been free throw shooting. They're about 67% in the 2 games. Julius makes 1 of 2. Milwaukee leading by 5. We have under 6 minutes to go first period. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell in Milwaukee.
Now you see Murray Cheeks pressuring Brian Winters. And that's just to take his timing away so that when he shoots, it won't be so easy.
Posting up and going inside is Moncrief against Tony. And Tony commits the foul, his first, and it'll be the 13th foul on Philadelphia. And going to the line will be Sidney Moncrief. Now, Bridgman and Winters, the 2 people that Don Nelson said have to score from the bench, are under 40% shooting and 2 for 7 today, and Moncrief is 34%. Here's Clint Richardson, who was a hero in Game 1 and just a fine defensive guard in the game.
Yeah, he's developed into a fine NBA player. There was doubt even in his mind whether he could really play on a regular basis in the league, and he's proven to himself and to everybody else that he can play.
But without the shooting of Bridgman, Winters, and Moncrief, Milwaukee really doesn't have much of a shot.
Well, what they do, they create a threat so that it opens it up for Moncrief and Marcus Johnson. Those are 2 guys they want. And the threat of the other guys can help so that they can't double team as easy.
Irving turnaround over Marcus. Bridgman rebound. Bridgman has rebounded very well in this series. This is his 3rd of the game. Inside to Lister. Lister has struggled offensively against Malone. Another other point Don Nelson told us was Lister was too hesitant on offense against Malone. He didn't show that at all on that last play. Biggest lead of the game for the Bucks. 9 points with under 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Malone doubled by Lister and by Bridgman. And the rebound is by Marcus Johnson. And now Philadelphia wants to run the court. Richardson sees it isn't there. Ivoroni is inside against Lister. Bridgman is guarding Malone in a mismatch. They find Malone. Double team quickly by Lister. Turned over. And Milwaukee has it again. Bridgman.
Philadelphia calls timeout.
Wouldn't you? Biggest lead of the game right now. The Bucks by 11.
Yeah, I know how to use it.
Okay. Did you? Right. Okay, I know what. Yeah, right. You did hear me going in commercial, right? Okay, because I just want to see what it's like when I did try it with the crowd screaming. Yes, but you heard me fine. Okay.
Sorry to hear that, Mike.
Yeah, we were kind of hoping we'd have some problems, but if that's the way you feel about it, then that's it. You know, if he says it, Sandy, I'm going to get in. No. Good comments. I mean, all those things that we got very smooth. You're going to handle this right out.
And when you get back to
it. Oh, we doing a locator first? What are you doing first, Mike? The locator? Okay, fine. Nice and smooth. Stockton and Bill Russell back live at the Milwaukee Arena on CBS, the home of the NBA championship, where Milwaukee leads 21-10 here in the first period.
Dick, you know when you said Junior Bridges was doing a better job of rebounding, this is some of the action away from the ball. This is why he was able to get that last rebound. He had also Lister and Moses Malone giving each other pretty good shoving around, and there's the rebound, the action away from the ball.
And Milwaukee has out-rebounded Philadelphia 11-6. Marcus Johnson has 5 of those 11 so far, as the Bucks have outscored Philly 10-1 since the Sixers cut an 8-point deficit to 2. So it's been a game of streaks so far. Looking at the Malone-Lanier matchup, keep in mind that Winters has 5 assists in the game, and that's helped Lanier.
I've noticed one thing, that as good a shooter as he is, Brian Winters is not looking for the shot as much as you might expect him to.
4:05 to go. Bobby Jones, number 24. Here's the booze because he really ended Milwaukee's hopes with 2 fine defensive plays. But Richardson blocked inside. Alton Lister, who led the Bucks in block shots.
That was some block. Because he came out of nowhere. That's where he got it, because Richardson knew he was free.
3:45 to go in the first. Malone knocks it away. Lister blocks Richardson.
Malone has the ball past to Richardson. Now he knows he's free, and there comes Lister from the blind side.
Lister and Irving the rebound. 21-10, Milwaukee leading with 3:34 remaining in the first period. Maurice Cheeks puts a move on Winters, goes in, gets the basket and a foul. That is an outstanding move by Maurice Cheeks, who's done everything in this series.
And he gave Brian Winters 3 good fakes before he made that move.
Foul is is on Lister. Charlie Chris, who had a fine game too, scoring 10 points on 4 for 6 shooting, replaces Brian Winters, who goes out of the game without scoring. So Cheeks hits the free throw in the three-point play. 8-point lead. Chris, 5'8", free agent. He was a 28-year-old rookie out of New Mexico State in his 6th year.
I said to him before the game, "You're too little to be playing this game." He says, "It's not your size, the size of your heart."
Hey, that sizes up Chris, doesn't it? He's given him that spark off the bench, and maybe we'll see more of Chris because Winters and Bridgman started today. He gives him maybe some offense off the bench. Irving with the finger roll inside. It drops for Julius, and the Doc now has 8 points, and he's the game-high scorer. Milwaukee over the limit in fouls. Philadelphia's committed 3 team fouls here with 2:40 to play in the first. Marcus Johnson trying to get inside and does, but he lost the handle. He beat Bobby Jones and then lost the handle, and Philadelphia comes back on the fast break with Clint Richardson.
You always pay when you make a mistake against Philadelphia, it seems. They take that missed shot, and before he can land good, they were on their way to a layup.
They used to be a team on transition. If you turn the ball over, they'd burn you. Now they do it off of rebounds when Malone's in there.
They are still one of the best defensive teams in basketball.
Junior Bridgman, 8 points. He's keeping up his part of the bargain. 8 points with 2 minutes to play in the first period now. 8-point lead for Milwaukee. Moses Malone has not scored yet. And forget about that. Malone with his first points, and it comes with under 2 to go in the first. Malone had 26 points after a 14-point effort in game number 1. Alton Lister going up. Lister again. Philly can cut it to 4. And they do it. Moses Malone got free inside, and Malone quickly 2 in a row.
And the key to that play was Julius Irving get the rebound and get the fast break started.
Julius is scoring. He has 8, but he's doing the rebounding too. They're going to call a foul against Julius Irving, and that'll be the second personal on the doctor, and that causes Billy Cunningham to think about things. Maurice Cheeks leaves the game, and Franklin Edwards, the second-year guard from Cleveland State, number 14, replaces him. And Don Nelson counters with Paul Pressey, the rookie from Tulsa, replacing Sidney Moncrief. And now Ivoroni replaces Irving.
And the reason for those 2 substitutes are to get these 2 guys, because they're going to play a lot of minutes, Maurice Cheeks and Sidney Moncrief, you can get them 3 minutes rest, almost 4 minutes of rest by taking them out now the last minute and the timeouts between periods.
Paul Pressey drives in. He has shown rookie-itis in this series as Bobby Jones on the break brings Philadelphia to within 2. The Bucks, with rookie Paul Pressey and a second-year player in Alton Lister, have suffered some of those 2. Franklin Edwards is on Chris. Bobby Jones on Bridgman. Lanier guarded by Malone. Chris. They drop for him.
Shooters bounce. The great shooters always get those bounces. The guys with stone hands, they bounce, they bounce out.
Are you complaining?
Yes.
I thought so. 30 seconds and 14 on the shot clock. Edwards goes up and out the ball. And a foul by Philadelphia. Franklin Edwards and Paul Pressey will go to the line now.
And both these teams are real good defensively, and when you dribble in traffic inside the paint, you're going to have a lot of problems with both these teams. They help out very well.
Moncrief is back quickly for Chris. Why?
Well, Nelson wants to finish his first half on an upbeat. He wants to get probably Moncrief to take the last shot.
And, of course, you saw Billy Cunningham counter quickly with Andrew Toney. Alton Lister is back, and Clement Johnson comes in for Moses Malone. Moses Malone, 4 points and 2 rebounds so far.
But, you know, with a guy like Moses, the numbers don't tell the story because he saps the strength of the other team by his presence because they're always worried about him and he's always on their mind.
I don't know where he is, right? 1 of 2. 5-point lead, seconds. And Philadelphia can take the last shot here. They've got Ivoroni, Jones, Clement Johnson, Franklin Edwards, and the man with the ball, Andrew Toney. Bruce Thye is much better. It's just the padding there is just for protective purposes. 6 seconds. Toney begins the move. And Franklin Edwards misses the shot. 1 second to go. It won't. No basket.
That was quite a first quarter.
And Milwaukee leads it 28-23. That was Bill Russell's best first quarter I've ever heard. That was Bill Russell's best first quarter that he's ever done.
We have an important message for you. Please report to the scorer's table.
Very nice, guys. Pat.
Scorer's table, please.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. San Antonio, yeah. All right. Okay. I think because I gave you time to. I mean, yeah. You didn't have to give me. Nice going.
What? I couldn't hear you. Right.
First, what's first? In any 7-game series. Gotcha.
That first was a 5.
If you're wondering how teams have done, how many times teams have come back from an 0-2 deficit, back in '56, that was a 5-game series with Fort Wayne and St. Louis. But there have only been 5 occasions where a team has been down 0-2 and come back to win. And Milwaukee leading after the first period. And, of course, Bill Russell's Boston team in '69 when the balloons didn't come down, right? At the Forum, right?
That was fun in the Forum.
28-23 Milwaukee. Want to remind you, coming up at halftime, Pat O'Brien will be our host. And there's been a lot of talk of which players are going to come out for the NBA draft. And Houston, Clyde Drexler and a team Abdul Olajuwon will be live at San Antonio with Brent Musburger to find out what their plans are all about coming up at halftime. You look at the shooting story. Milwaukee with a 5-point lead. Pressey is on Andrew Toney. And Andrew gets Pressey in the air. The basket counts. We'll give you the matchups. Edwards is on Pressey. Toney is on Moncrief. Clement Johnson on Bob Lanier. Ivoroni on Lister. And Bobby Jones is on Junior Bridgman. Moncrief slapped away. It's still Milwaukee ball, and they have 8 seconds.
When you go inside, there's a lot of guys there waiting for you defensively on both of these teams because they pack it in and make you shoot the outside shot. What they give you is mostly the weak side jump shot.
Bridgman. Ivoroni clears. They look for the break. Good play by Franklin Edwards on the high pass. Edwards behind Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones.
Good play by Franklin Edwards.
Milwaukee jumped out to a 9-1 lead, then 21-10. Philadelphia went on a 13-4 spurt to cut it to 2, but the Bucks came on again. Their lead is 28-27 with 11 minutes, 1 minute gone by here in the second period. Philadelphia calmly has come back to cut the deficit to 1. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Junior Bridgman gets the bucket inside. 10 for Junior Bridgman. He is the leading scorer for Milwaukee. Julius Erving has 8 for Philadelphia.
He's a better ball player than just a shooter, and he's demonstrating today because he's doing a good job rebounding, and he's doing a good job penetrating and handling the ball. Much better than people would have thought he would be able to do.
Speaking of handling the ball, Maurice Cheeks is getting set to come back in. Andrew Toney, no way to stop that. He knows when he's going to go up high. He's 3 for 5, and 6 points for Andrew. Milwaukee lead again 1 point. Philadelphia has not had the lead. Double team Lanier. Bridgman. It'll be a Philadelphia foul inside. Loose ball. Clement Johnson was hit in the face. Ivoroni commits the foul, and it looks like Clement Johnson is hurting.
And they're going to have to get the team trainer out there because the bells are ringing in his head now.
Hit on the bridge of his nose. He was the enforcer, the backup center and forward on this team.
There's where he got hit right there.
Lanier might have
Lanier hit him in the eye.
So we have a 20-second timeout called for by Philadelphia. Clement Johnson, acquired from Indiana in February. He's really bolstered the 76er bench.
What I've noticed, Dick, today is that both coaches are going away from their regular substitution pattern. Now,
this is a timeout, and Edwards was also being attended to. But go on with your point.
And Billy Cunningham, encountering what Milwaukee's done, has changed his pattern because we saw a lot of Franklin Edwards that first quarter. Normally, Maurice Cheeks plays more minutes than anyone for the 6, except maybe Moses.
Double team on Lanier. Good passing by Milwaukee. They have plenty of time on the clock. Inside Moncrief lost the ball out of bounds, and it was last hit off of a Philadelphia player.
Maurice Cheeks is bounced off his leg.
Billy Cunningham and Matt Gukas up saying, I don't understand that one. Now we're going to have a timeout. Why Franklin Edwards? What does he give him?
Well, he's a good threat, shooting, and he can play for a few minutes without hurting you.
Timeout, under 10 minutes to go in the second period.
Immediately. Thank you.
See it? I got to see it. Don't yell. Don't yell. I hear you. I hear you. Great. Yeah. A report at halftime on the conditions. It's raining in Fort Worth, right? Third round coverage from Fort Worth, Texas. The Colonial National Invitation coming up after the game, and we understand it's raining in Fort Worth. At halftime, we'll have a report on the weather conditions at the Colonial. And here is the leaderboard after 2 rounds with Bobby Watkins, a 1-stroke lead over Gary Hallberg, Nelford, Fiore, and Caldwell right behind. But we'll have a report on what's happening at the Colonial at halftime.
You think he's a little nervous? Watkins has never won a tournament, and to have the lead, and you don't know whether to try to hold it. You know, it's just like, do you know how to win yet?
That goes for any sport, right? Moncrief misses. Rebound. Nice play by Moncrief. Outstanding defensive guard, anticipating the pass for Andrew Toney. Milwaukee's lead is 1 point. We have 9:43 remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton, Bill Russell in Milwaukee. And the crowd is aroused. They want to see their Bucks back in. 2-0. Sixers lead in the series. And a fine shot by Junior Bridgman. A semi-hook shot from the baseline, and he has 12 points on 5 for 8 shooting. Junior Bridgman is given first name is Ulysses, played in Louisville. And a Milwaukee foul has been called. It's on Paul Pressey, the rookie, and the first team foul on the Bucks.
Here's Pressey trying to hook Andrew Toney.
Tough man to hook. Brian Winters is back. Marcus Johnson is back as Bridgman gets a hand, going out with 12 points and also going out as Pressey.
And the substitution that Nelson's making, so you have a certain amount of good outside shooting so that they can't collapse so much. But they got scorers and Marcus Johnson back there to take care of the inside.
And a defensive player in Alton Lister at power forward. Foul is on the Bucks. It's on Moncrief, and he knew it.
Fouls on Sidney Moncrief.
And he knew it. He didn't complain.
He never complains. Almost never.
The big strong points for Milwaukee so far is they hold a 3-point lead. They've committed only 1 turnover, and Philadelphia has not had an offensive rebound yet.
Now, what Sidney Moncrief does very well with Andrew Toney is deny the ball to him.
Lanier denied the ball to Malone, and Winters did everything he could to save it. Still Philadelphia ball with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Now, that's dispiriting when you make a good defensive play and don't come up with the ball. The defensive play is not over until you have that ball.
That's why you never block the ball into the 15th row when you play. Tony against Moncrief. Matchup of outstanding players. And Moncrief gets a piece of it. And Milwaukee, with 8:40 to go, trying to make it a 5-point lead. Their biggest margin was 11. But Philadelphia's come back. It's been a game of streaks. Moncrief inside. And the foul the other way is against the Bucks. Loose ball. Foul. 2 on Moncrief. Very serious player is Sidney Moncrief.
I think he wants to do something unusual. He might want to complain a little bit now, because he thought he got hit pretty good on the shot when he went in.
Milwaukee has 3 team fouls. Philadelphia 1 with 8:15 to go in the first half. Tony uses Ivoroni as a screen. Alone. Now it's Marcus Johnson. So Philadelphia still doesn't have an offensive rebound in the game. Winters. Moncrief. Shuffles it to Alton Lister.
And that's what the key players have to do. Julius and on Milwaukee, on Philadelphia, and Marcus and Moncrief on Milwaukee. They have to penetrate and dish off.
Cheeks had no play, so he took the shot himself. And Maurice Cheeks, who is averaging over 20 points a game in this series.
And Maurice Cheeks is what you call a coaching aide. When the play breaks down, he makes the hoop.
Makes everyone look good in the bench. 3-point lead for Milwaukee with 7:25 remaining in the first half. Live at the Milwaukee Arena, Game 3, best of 7, the Eastern Conference Final. Lanier. 9 points for Lanier. He's outscored Malone 9-4 and hasn't missed a shot yet. He's 4 for 4. Lister is out on Ivoroni. Marcus Johnson on Bobby Jones. And there's that man Malone. It'll count in the foul. Here they come. There are 4 substitutions coming in. It'll be Harvey Catchings and Junior Bridgman for Milwaukee, Clint Richardson and Julius Erving for Philadelphia.
And these substitutions are very well calculated to keep a certain amount of firepower and a certain amount of rebounding.
What shot? It's all right. Right. Okay. So I'm going to ask you. I'm going to say, this is a game Milwaukee has to win. Obviously, down 2-1. I may do 2-0. And I'm going to say the big changes. How do you assess? Can you assess at this point what the changes have meant? That's what I'll do. Because maybe you can't. Yeah, right. All right, but I know, but we're working. It's just very, they ought to make cords that go in the back instead of the side. Okay.
No, you're not. You lied to Dick.
I don't think you're going to do that at all. You know what it does, Mike? Mike, the cord rips the earpiece from me, so I gotta move the cord back because it rips the earpiece. Yeah, we're working.
not listening. That's why it doesn't make a difference in my earpiece.
Milwaukee needs desperately. In fact, they need both of them this weekend. They're leading 36-33. Bill Russell, we talked about Bridgman and Winters starting and what it would mean over 48 minutes. Can you discern what these substitutions have meant so far in this game in the second quarter?
So far, it seems to work for Don Nelson. He got the things that he wanted. He got off to a good start. Now, will he be able to get back to his rotation that he wants for the rest of the game? We won't know that until maybe in the third quarter.
He hasn't been hurt by the rebounding, by not having Alton Lister in there. He certainly hasn't been hurt defensively by not having Cressy and Lister. Again, the substitutions, as Bill mentioned when we went out to commercial, you want a blend of good shooters, defensive players, and rebounders in there, and both teams have that right now. Harvey Catchings, former Sixer, number 42, is in the game for the first time. And he is the center. Malone at the three-point play. And it's now 36-34 Milwaukee. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Pressure by Philadelphia. The trap. Pick them up at half court. Someone's open, and it's Brian Winters. Passes up the shot. 7 seconds on the shot clock, though. Milwaukee better get something going. Winters. Milwaukee didn't get the shot they wanted, and Philadelphia can tie it up. And the reason they didn't was the pressure that Philadelphia exerted was just to make them take time, so they didn't have time to run their plays. Their plays taking an ordinary amount of time. The Milwaukee Bucks. Bobby Jones missed the shot. Bridgman down away in the basket. And a foul, and a big basket for Milwaukee. The transition game, Milwaukee style. On Julius Erving, his third personal foul, and that is the second team foul on Philadelphia. So now Julius Erving is not very happy with that call. No, he's going to the bench, and coming in for his first appearance in this series is Reggie Johnson. Third-year, 6'9" forward from Tennessee, who has played with 3 teams in the last year.
33, Reggie Johnson.
I bet he's happy to be where he is right now.
Well, he was with San Antonio. That wasn't bad, but he was with Cleveland and Kansas City. He is happy now. Junior Bridgman, 6 of 9 from the field, misses the free throw. And a 4-point Milwaukee lead nearly halfway through the second stanza. Here's Reggie Johnson. He's a pretty good shooter. Good around the basket, too.
And this is another defensive struggle these teams have played. They both played outstanding defense.
Catchings on Malone and fouls it.
Now, Catchings can match up with Malone physically much better than you would think looking at his stats, but he's a very strong player, and he's a very experienced player. He's been playing quite a while. And so, but his weakness is he does not give you any offense. So now what he has to do is set picks, rebound, and play defense.
That is a 15th foul against Milwaukee. They're in the penalty, and Malone, now with 8 points in the game, he has 2 rebounds and 7 points. 8 points for Moses. So Malone and Erving. Malone has 9 now. Erving has 8. Cheek 7. Those are the high scorers for Philly. Bridgman with 14 and Lanier with 9 lead the Bucks. 5:45 on the clock. Milwaukee by 2.
The reason Milwaukee offense takes so much time is they try to get the other team to commit so they can get the offside, weak side shot.
Winters is just not shooting well in this game. He hasn't scored, and he was 1 for 6 in game 2, 0 for 5. So he is now 1 for 11 in the last game in almost a half. And now Philadelphia can tie the score. They have not had the lead at all in this game. Reggie Johnson, Cheeks. He's got quickness on Winters. Clint Richardson with a screen from Bobby Jones. And Catchings gets the rebound. So Philadelphia has had chances to tie it up, and they've missed every time out. Junior Bridgman, guarded by Reggie Johnson. Malone in the corner. So once again, Philadelphia cannot the score. And Bobby Jones does exactly that. Our first tie of the ball game. At 38, at one point, Milwaukee led by 11. And now Milwaukee's got to turn it up again.
that shot that they have to hit that outside shot because the way the Philadelphia defense set up, they give them the weak side outside shot.
Blocked by Malone. Moncrief. And now Jack Madden blows his whistle and everyone looks at him. They're going to reset the clock to 24 seconds. They did not do that. The block shot hit the board. If the block shot hits a board, there's a reset for 24 seconds, and that's what they had to do. 4.5 to play in the first half. High score, 38. Marcus Johnson over the top. Philadelphia can take the lead.
And Philadelphia is not giving Milwaukee any shots. The weak side shots, they're not getting even because now they have to go one-on-one for the jump shot, and that is not a good shot.
What's Malone's argument with Evans?
I think he said he got pushed, although the ball bounced over the backboard. He got pushed out of position, and he wants the foul called anyway.
4:15 remaining in the first half. Philadelphia, uphill climb for them, trying to take their first lead of the game. Malone, double team. Gets inside, slapped away, but Clint Richardson has it with 4 seconds. Shot clock. Bobby Jones fires it up, and Philadelphia has its first lead of the game. And Milwaukee is just not shooting well from outside. Marcus Johnson and Moncrief are 2 for 11.
They are not getting good outside shot, Dick. That's the reason they're not hitting them well.
9 on the shot clock. That's right. Cheeks picked up, came right around that pick, and just smothered Brian Winters. Winters ties it up. 3:35 remaining. Winters is 1 for 6 now from the field, and we're going to have a timeout by Philly.
And the reason that's so important is Maurice Cheeks helps out quite a bit in the center position when he's double teaming. And they have to make it the outside shot in order to keep him busy so he can help out the other guys.
You know what they say, if you live by the outside shot, you die by it too. Yeah, well, that happens in the sport.
Johnson,
Give me that, 3 for 17. Okay, going pretty good, guys. Substitutions, all those things. What they got. Catching's perfect with Cat. What he gives him, what he doesn't give him. Great. But that's all for the day, okay? Thank you very much for joining.
As guest analyst, right?
Our guest has been Bill Russell. You know, the old-time announcers. Our guest on Basketball Day has been Bill Russell.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Dick.
What's it? Pat's going to do what? What about punching in San Antonio?
Do you have additives on this? Am I on camera the whole time?
Hey, Pat?
Yeah.
Pat, you're on camera even when the game goes back. We're tied at 40 with 3:31 to go in the half, and to find out what's in store at halftime, let's join Pat O'Brien.
Developments as college underclassmen declare for the NBA draft. We'll have the very latest. We'll also go live to Brett Musburger, who is standing by in San Antonio with Houston's Akeem Abdul-Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. And the complete highlight report on last night Lakers-Spurs game. That's at the half. Back to you, Dick.
Thank you very much, Pat. You know, Bill, with Milwaukee's Johnson, Moncrief, and Winters shooting a horrid 3 for 17, I think that the Bucks may be fortunate to be tied at this juncture.
Well, they're playing very well, except they're not making the baskets, and that's almost like saying, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how'd you like to play?
But they are tied. But the thing is, they can't go on like this.
No. But I want to tell you, the reason they're shooting, the percentage they're shooting, is Philadelphia is concentrating on those guys on the outside shots. They're sending the guys a lot of distance to bother them on those outside shots.
Reggie Johnson shooting over Marcus Johnson. Johnson gets a piece of the ball. Milwaukee's not playing a bad defensive game in its own right, believe me.
No, they're not. They're playing excellent defense. Both teams are well prepared to play the other team.
The Bucks have blocked 6 shots by a variety of people. Moncrief on the pass back from Winters. The basket no off the rim. Moncrief signaled to Jack Madden. He says, how about a goaltending call? Wasn't going to get it. You know, Bobby Jones commits the foul. Moncrief has had so many near three-point play situations like that in this series.
Well, he's almost ready to forego his outside shot, which is an important part of his repertoire. To go inside and try to get three-point plays because his outside shot is not falling for him.
3 team fouls against Philadelphia. The Bucks over the limit with 3:07 to go in the half. Moncrief has 5 points. He averaged 22 and a half in the regular season. He has not missed from the line in 3 tries.
You know, you think about these guys, we're talking about their shooting percentage and everything. But I want to tell you, Philadelphia defense has a lot to do with all of it. They are really playing outstanding defense.
Milwaukee with the lead, 42-40, under 3 minutes to go, first half. A game Milwaukee needs desperately. They cannot afford to be down 3-0. Reggie Johnson, Malone moving out and passing in that time.
It was an outstanding pass by Moses on that because he turned around and faced the court. He has to do that so they can see the double team and they can see the guys that he can pass to.
Look at the shooting in this period. 40% for Milwaukee. And they leave Harvey Catchings open.
That is not the shot that Don Nelson wanted. He says, no, great shot, great shot.
And you know what? Philadelphia would give him that every time down. They'll let Catchings shoot. Reggie Johnson trying to move it against Marcus Johnson. Doubled by Brian Winters. Quick passing, and Clint Richardson goes in with a foray. No basket, and offensive foul against Philly.
Just as I was about to say, good move by Clint Richardson.
It was. It's what happened after that. Offensive foul, Clint Richardson. That is his first personal foul. Milwaukee with a 2-point lead, trying to add to it. 2:15 remaining in the first half. Paul Pressey, long arms. Lanky at 6'6", good defensive guard. Marcus Johnson. Billy Cunningham said, well, we like people like Pressey and Marcus Johnson to shoot from outside. Cheeks penetrates. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Mo.
And Maurice Cheeks doesn't like that call.
That's the first on Maurice Cheeks. He goes out of the game. Here he is, and it was a good call because Harvey Catchings had stood his ground for the last half hour, it seemed, the way it looked inside. Philadelphia has turned the ball over 6 times to only once for Milwaukee. Pass into Marcus Johnson. There's another turnover, and Philadelphia coming back to try to come within 2. Andrew Toney fouled.
And Dick, I'd like to find out if there's any problem with Maurice Cheeks because this is a little unusual that he's not playing as much as he is. I don't think he's in foul trouble. And he's Billy Cunningham picked him out the first and the second period.
Maurice Cheeks, who has emerged as a star in the game of basketball after being an underrated performer for several years. He's in his 5th year, but a very good point as Toney goes to the line because Franklin Edwards came in early in the first period. Moses Malone takes a breather right now. He's replaced by Clement Johnson. So the Johnson boys, Clement and Reggie, are in there for Philadelphia, and they were both acquisitions in February. So you can see how that helped Philadelphia's bench. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell live from Milwaukee. Harvey Catchings gets a hand as he leaves. This is game 3 of the best of 7 Eastern final with Philadelphia leading 2-0 on CBS, the home of the NBA championship. Andrew Toney is struggling so far in this game. He has 7 points, but only 3 of 7 from the field. Minute and a half. Sixers have a foul to give.
You know what's interesting to me is that with anticipation of what the Sixers are going to do, Don Nelson even has plays to get the ball inbounds in the backcourt.
Edwards running the court. And Andrew Toney with a short jumper at the baseline. And Milwaukee's lead is 1 point now. Philadelphia had the lead briefly at 40-38. It's been otherwise all Milwaukee with the lead, and we've had 3 ties.
But Philadelphia will make you come up with plays for everything.
Milwaukee has to play a near-perfect game to beat Philadelphia.
Sure they do. Because they're playing very well now, and against any other team, I think they would have a 10-point or 20-point lead, maybe. At least a 15-point lead.
That's your leading scorer in the game, Junior Bridgman, with 16 points on 7 of 11 from the field, and it's a 3-point lead for the Bucks, 14 on the shot clock for the Sixers. Andrew Toney against Pressey. Franklin Edwards against Moncrief. Rebound Lister. And now Milwaukee can play for the last shot. Could be Marcus, could be Sidney Moncrief, or Junior Bridgman. Moncrief with 8 seconds. Moncrief with 5. Into Paul Pressey, blocked by Clement Johnson. And that'll do it in the first half. How do you figure that play?
That was a great defensive move. If the man was free, you had to give him the ball.
So Don Nelson and the Milwaukee Bucks leave the court with a 48-45 lead. Billy Cunningham is within range. Bob Lanier wants his team to stay alive, and we'll be back with Pat O'Brien at halftime in a moment.
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. How are you? I'm fine. Let me use which mic do you want me to use? Okay. We're on with the lavalier. Oh, I like this stool. We're going to be using the lavalier, but let's have that one standing by.
Okay. Is it on?
It's on, I guess. Just
okay.
Why don't you just put it down here? You can just hand it to me if it goes out. Well, we got nothing here. No lights, no camera. We are at the half. Hey guys, we got about 40 seconds to go here. Huh? We're at the halftime. Hi everybody, I'm Pat O'Brien. Well, can I have the monitor up here? This is, you know. All right, who cares? I don't need it. Thanks a lot. It's all right. Okay, Bridgman has 16 points, right? How many points does Junior Bridgman have? How many points does Junior Bridgman have? Day of decision for college. We ready to do this, boys?
10 seconds.
We are at the half at the Mecca in Milwaukee. The score of Milwaukee Bucks 48, the Philadelphia 76ers 45. Junior Bridgman has 16 points. Hi everybody, I'm Pat O'Brien. Well, this is the day of decision for college underclassmen who are going to declare early entry into the National Basketball Association's draft. Now already, maybe one of the happiest men in basketball is Houston Cougars coach Guy Lewis, who even though he's losing Clyde Drexler, gets to keep his superstar center Akeem Abdul-Olajuwon, who will stay in school another year. Now here in Milwaukee, they're not so happy. Marquette University's Glenn Doc Rivers announced just 2 hours ago that he will leave school and enter the NBA job market. It has been an agonizing month or so for the players and coaches as tonight's midnight deadline nears.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
Should I stay or should I go actually reduces the decision to the simplest form. There are many, many things that come under consideration, making it a crucial decision. And after thinking it through, some decided to stay.
And I would just like to say I enjoy being a student at Memphis State, and I'm happy to be around for the next couple of 2 years.
And some decided to go.
I have decided to leave school and begin a career in professional basketball.
Remember last year it seemed easier to say yes to the pros. Most of the big names like James Worthy, Terry Cummings, and Dominique Wilkins came out. In fact, 8 of the first 12 draft picks were underclassmen. But this year, the big names that are staying in college apparently feel they have some personal goals to fulfill.
It's based upon different circumstances. One team may feel they have a chance to win a championship, and therefore the players will stay in school for another year. You really have to look at all the factors involved.
This year, Clyde the Glide Drexler leads the list so far. The others are not so well known. And all this talk about this being the last big money year under the new NBA contract may just be talk.
A player can sign for any amount of money. The teams can maneuver within their own framework of salary structures to sign that player. And it would be a terrible disaster for players to come out early just because they've been misled into believing they can't sign for more than $75,000.
Thursday, the press came out in Houston, waited 90 minutes to hear the intentions of their local superstars, Akeem Abdul-Olajuwon and Drexler.
Stockton and Bill Russell in a game reminiscent of last year's third game. Philadelphia won the first two in their series. Bucks came here and won a tense 92-91 affair on Moncrief's basket in the final seconds. Julius Erving finds Tony. Quick passing Maurice Cheeks. Moses Malone gets the first offensive rebound for Philadelphia and follows it up with a basket. He has 11 points. You can count on him going to work, and he went to work on it early. Third period.
And if you keep him down under 2 rebounds, you'll be tired for a week.
11-20. 40 seconds going by. Good drive, baseline winners, but Moses Malone blocks the shot. So there's that defense again. Cheeks. Ivoroni is trying to get Junior Bridgman close to the basket. He has a height advantage at some 5 inches. Julius Erving hits from the corner. The Doctor did not score in the second period. He has 10 points after getting 8 in the first. And the 76ers have their second lead in the ball game. Bucks know that facing a 3-0 deficit is well nigh impossible. Turnover, steal by Julius Erving. So the two things that Milwaukee didn't permit the offensive rebound and not making the turnover that seemed going the other way. Another offensive rebound by Ivoroni. Another one by Malone. And a foul. Looks to be against Milwaukee. And a loose ball foul has been called against the Bucks. Sidney Moncrief is third. 3 on Moncrief.
And the Bucks are not getting off to a very good start the second half.
Hardly.
They've given up a lot more offensive rebounds already than they did the first half. Even.
And we're going to have another foul on Milwaukee. And Don Nelson has to be restrained by Gary St. Jean, his assistant coach. And a technical foul has been called against Nelson. And if that foul is on Moncrief, that's number 4 on Sidney, and it is. It was against Philadelphia when Nelson threw his jacket onto the court in a game earlier this year, and he is enraged. 4 on Moncrief. No, they change it to Lanier. 3 on Lanier. So Moncrief still has 3, and now Lanier picks up his third. And shooting the technical is Julius Erving. Sixers ball. They're up by 2. Winters is starting out on Cheeks. Malone outside, drawing Lanier, now going under. Erving, Marcus Johnson, and Moncrief double. Julius, short. Malone loses it out of bounds. Let's see that Lanier foul, Russ.
The ball, there's a rebound here. I couldn't see who did.
Well, this wasn't that wasn't the last foul by Lanier. That was the foul before by Moncrief. We correct that. It was the earlier foul. Timeout. Hey, guys, you'll have to tell us which foul, please. That foul isn't sufficient. You follow me, Sam? Okay. No, that was the second foul. They called the third on Moncrief. Then there was another foul that was Moncrief that was changed to Lanier. That was the first foul. That was the first one, not the last one. No sweat, Sandy. You're doing one brilliant job in there.
And if you believe that, Sandy, I got a bridge I want to sell you.
No, that's true. No. Yeah.
And it fell out.
Well, you know it is, so no. All right. Yeah. What does promo action for today and tomorrow mean? Okay, fine. Okay. All right, you're going to do both then, right? You're going to do, how many many pages on this thing? Right, thank you. We have regional coverage. Philadelphia, Milwaukee game 4. LA, San Antonio game 4, with the Lakers leading 2-1 live, 1 o'clock Eastern. And then Bill and I will journey out to the Forum for game 5 of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and the Lakers, 11:30 Eastern, Wednesday night on CBS, the home of the NBA championship.
And Milwaukee has not scored the second half. And although it's only a little over 2 minutes, it's still important that they get in gear pretty quickly, because Philadelphia's had ample opportunity to even have a bigger lead.
They've outscored him 5-0. Bill thanks to 4 offensive rebounds. Moncrief tries to put the Bucks on the board, and he does. Sidney Moncrief with 8 points, and maybe from Milwaukee's standpoint, that'll kind of change the outside shooting fortunes they've had.
Well, most teams, when they have a trouble scoring, they try to go inside so they can get the shot or at least a free throw. With Milwaukee, they want to get the outside shot.
Moses Malone fires up the shot, and there was a loud noise at one end of the arena that I think shocked a lot of the players as well. That was a loud noise. No basket.
The weak side help got there late on that. I mean, got there early, so they fouled in there just as he got the ball.
Ivoroni's third personal foul, and that is the first team foul on the Sixers. Nearly 3 minutes gone by. Moncrief gets loose behind his back, and the rebound Malone. Moncrief got underneath on a backdoor play, going behind the player.
And good defense will make you try tough shots.
Maurice Cheeks. Maurice Cheeks is shooting nearly 58% from the field against Milwaukee in the playoffs. He was 54% during the regular year, one of the leaders on the club. Lanier misses inside, and Philadelphia, with their biggest lead of 4, trying to stretch it now with 8:35 to go. Trying to get it to Tony inside. He's got Winters. Now Andrews out. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Good move to the hoop by Andrews. Blocked inside by Junior Bridgman. Marcus Johnson.
Take that.
Only his third basket in 11 tries, but that was one you could put in a highlight for. 2-point Philadelphia game. The Bucks need this. Ivoroni. Moncrief. And Bridgman is hurt. He was hit in the neck at the other end. And I think Moses Malone tried to see how he was. No basket. Junior Bridgman was hit in the back of the neck, I think, by Malone, and Malone tried to see how he was.
And they call a foul on Julius.
4 on Julius, but here's Bridgman under the basket with Malone. What happened here?
Right here. There.
Marcus Johnson.
Marcus Johnson.
Fifth tie of the game. 4 straight points for Milwaukee, and Marcus Johnson hurting Philadelphia inside as he had done in game number 1. Air ball, Milwaukee ball. Marcus Johnson has been marvelous inside against Philadelphia in this series thus far.
He's making the moves inside it, and what really keys him, makes him even more effective is when he's hitting the outside shot, so you have to come up on him. And then he's really tough.
Ivoroni on Marcus Johnson. They go to Lanier, back to Sidney Moncrief. Tony, good defense by Andrew. Fine defense by Tony, and Philadelphia. Bad pass. Bridgman loses it. Unforced error there. You think think the pace has been turned up a couple of notches, Mr. Russell?
Yes, they're revving it up pretty good now, and the defense is getting even stronger. But these guys are really getting it in gear.
All right, good.
This is out of the commercial.
Give me. I'm going to do this. I got it. I'm going to add some about what the referees have given. All right. Special Olympics, they gave $5,000. The officials, yeah. It'll be after the Miller thing. It's oh, thank you. Good. You all right? You good?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Yeah. So after the Miller thing, you give me the officials? Thanks. Nice going, guys. This is gone very well. It's one of our better efforts. That's good. Play-by-play guy normally gives that, but he's asleep.
And if a guy can sleep in this atmosphere, he's really got something going.
At the conclusion of today's game, Bill and I will select the Miller Most Valuable Player of the game. In conjunction with this award, Miller will present a check for $1,000 to the Special Olympics in that player's name. Of course, we're in Milwaukee, the home of Miller, and the NBA referees have also been part of this because today's officials are presenting a $500 check as part of a $5,000 donation this year to the Special Olympics. And Jack Madden, Hugh Evans, our officials. Ed Middleton is our alternate. Jack Madden, by the way, is the executive director of the National Association of Basketball Referees. So a doff of the cap to the officials. 54-54, 6:58 remaining in the third. The Brain Trust, Jack McMahon, Matt Gukas, and of course, Billy Cunningham and Lanier you've seen, and Moses Malone, who had only 3 rebounds in the first half, but already he has 5 in this quarter. 5 of Philadelphia's 8 in this period. Moncrief. They kind of spur you on those plays.
And that's 2 very physical players playing the backcourt, and that was just...
Malone on the pick and roll. Comes right back.
Now, on this play like that, it looks like Malone might have beat his man, but that's not what happens. You have to front him on certain situations, and then you have to get help from the weak side. So the weak side help was late coming on that play.
15 for Moses Malone. He had only 4 points at the quarter. Remember, he got off to a slow start. He's using that adding machine in a hurry right now. Charlie Chris, who hit a couple early in the game. He really gets the shooter's bounce, doesn't he? Charlie Chris with 6 points. He's 3 for 3 from the field. He was 4 for 6 in game 2, and now he picks up a loose ball. Moncrief. And a foul. They like it now.
Great hustle by Charlie Chris because he caused that to happen. He stayed with Maurice Chicks all the way on that play until he came up with the ball. Here's Moncrief and Andrew Tony going at it. A little contact there. Little contact there.
And you talked about Charlie Chris and his hustle.
There he's standing there. He comes up with the ball. And he makes the right pass at the right time to Sidney Moncrief, and he nabbed the foul line.
Charlie Chris is going to go out of the ball game and get a hand. No, I guess not. He is not getting a hand. He's getting a hand, but he's not leaving the ball game. Alton Lister has come in, and Bob Lanier goes to the bench. You never know what combinations John Nelson's going to use, right?
You know, and things like that, what Charlie Chris did is so important in a game like this. Because the guy gives you something, not only does he make a good play, but he gives you something extra. And that gives the guys a breather also.
Andrew Toney, baseline, comes back with a basket.
And he took a breather too.
You know, the foul story could become a factor because the starting forward tandem for Philadelphia, Mark Ivaroni and Julius Erving, each have 4 personal fouls. They're the only players in the game with 4. Moncrief and Lanier have 3 for Milwaukee. Malone fighting Moncrief, and it comes down to Philadelphia. There's the doctor. And Philadelphia regains the lead, 60-59. 5:22 and counting remaining in the third period. Milwaukee trailing 2-0. They're home both games this weekend, must win both games. Alton Lister, Chris over Cheeks, back to Lister. Air ball, but there's Moncrief at the other side. So we go back and forth, under 5 minutes to play in the third. Moncrief has 13, Bridgman the leading scorer, 16. An air ball. Cheeks missed. Milwaukee, 1-point lead. Bucks and Sixers gone to these playoffs 3 years in a row. And Marcus Johnson
Said block this, large people.
Here's Clint Richardson coming back in the ball game in a moment. We have a lot of time to go in the third, but I think this fourth period is going to be something else. Cheeks on a move against Chris, lost control. Here comes a break. Toney, Moncrief.
Here's the outlet pass. Sidney Moncrief. Take this, fake, and take that. And now I'll get a 3-pointer.
6 in a row run off by the Bucks.
Andrew Toney, that's his second personal and the 4th team foul on Philadelphia.
Can you come back to Moncrief? Thank you. Did someone call me? Say, it's a heck of a game. We really have had a string of games. That's right. Yeah, it's true. I know. Coming back to Moncrief. Thank you. How's the audio sound? You don't? I know. All right. I don't hear myself now. Did I get more juice or not? Yeah. Yes. You don't hear me. I may let the crowd go for a bit. Milwaukee by 5. Sidney Moncrief has scored 9 points this period, including his last 3 shots. He came into the game averaging only 14 in the first 2 games of the series. Don't forget, he was the team's leading scorer in the regular year. Had only 6 in the first half. Right now, Moncrief has 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 assists, and a blocked shot. And we already know how great he is on the defensive end.
Yeah, he's put in a good day's work.
6-point lead. Toney going to the hoop and behind Malone. Basket counts and a foul on the floor.
On Sidney Moncrief, he got in the chest that time. That's not good. compact car run into a diesel truck.
That's 4 fouls on Moncrief. So Moncrief on Milwaukee will join Irving and Ivaroni with 4 personal fouls in the game. Charlie Chris goes out, replaced by Brian Winters. Chris has done well in 2 games, but Moncrief stays in with 4 fouls. Malone now has 18 points in the ball game, and he is approaching his playoff average. He's hit his last 7 shots as Moses Malone. Right now is defending against Alton Lister. Marcus Johnson with 6 seconds on the clock drives in, gets his own rebound. Points in this 3rd quarter for Marcus Johnson. Billy Cunningham Sixers trail by 5 with 3:33 to go in the 3rd period. And the crowd yells defense. They're going to get a defensive guard. Paul Pressey coming into the first jump. Tony, long rebound. It comes down to Philadelphia. Julius Irving on the court with 4 personals. Moncrief and Irving have 4 fouls apiece, and they're playing. Bobby Jones on a feed from Julius. And have they done that before?
Years and years they've done that. It still works to perfection.
5 of 6 for Bobby Jones. He has 10 points in the game, and he's doing his unsung role again. Marcus Johnson.
That was a tough shot he tried then.
Philadelphia will try to come within 1 with 2:45 to go, and they do. Andrew Toney. Toney with his explosive power inside on the baseline.
He paid for that one. He got hit on the head real well, real good.
Not showing the effects as he defends Winters out on top. 9 on the shot clock. Bucks by 1. They were up by 3 at the half. Moncrief. Malone fights, and a loose ball foul against Milwaukee. Lister. 2nd on Lister. Here's Paul Pressey into the game. Paul Pressey, top draft choice, set a Milwaukee record for blocked shots by a guard. Where the Milwaukee Arena, where we have a sellout, enthusiastic crowd trying to see their Bucks come within 2-1 of the Sixers, who have won the first 2 games here. Julius Irving in the lane here. So Philadelphia regains the lead, and that is our 4th lead change in the entire ball game. Under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Timeout. A big weekend of NBA playoffs. Of course, last night you saw Los Angeles take a 2-1 lead over San Antonio. And today, of course, Milwaukee and Philadelphia game 3. And then you'll see both game 4s tomorrow, regional coverage. It'll be the Sixers and the Bucks here in Milwaukee. Along with Bill Russell will be here. Or some of you will see the Lakers against San Antonio with Brent Musburger and Kevin Lockery. And then we will be in the Forum in Inglewood for game 5, 11:30 p.m. Wednesday of the Western Conference Final. Coming up right after basketball, we've had some troubled weather as Pat Summerall relayed to Pat O'Brien at halftime. Colonial National Invitation 3rd round. So we'll check on the weather and the leaderboard after the game.
And so far it looks like with that last spurt that Philadelphia made to go back into the lead, that slow start at the start of the 2nd half has, to me, has indicated that the Bucks are having a problem in the 2nd half. They needed to get off to a better start than that.
But then they took a 66-60 lead after that.
Even so, when you come back, every time you make a run at a team, it takes something out of you. Whether you're pulling ahead or catching up, it takes something out of you. And it's better to have them coming back at you all the time.
Philadelphia's run off a 9-2 spurt after the Bucks had that 6-point lead. Milwaukee won 1 championship. That was in 1971. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson leading a great cast. Kareem trying to win another title in Los Angeles, and that man looking for his first championship in this, his 13th professional year, and has had 7 or 8 knee operations. Probably will undergo more surgery after this season. The rebounding story. So Milwaukee inbounds, trailing by a point with 1:50 to go. Lanier loses the ball. And then it's Milwaukee ball. Malone's trying to ask Madden who is on the line. Key to Milwaukee, Sidney Moncrief and Marcus Johnson. They have all but 2 of Milwaukee's points so far in this period. Here's Junior Bridgman.
Now that's a good shot on the outside shot because he had a good chance to pick up a rhythm on that. But most times Philadelphia doesn't give him that. There's a guy rushing toward him, so he has to think about the defensive man.
Bridgman is 18 points, his first point here in the third period.
Loose defense. Bob Lanier knocked it loose, but the weak side had to be there to pick it up.
And again, we tell you the weak side that we constantly refer to as the side away from the ball. The ball's on the left, the weak side's the right side. And it's not in the act of shooting. It's a one-shot foul. And, of course, that will be a shooting situation. That is the 15th foul against Philadelphia. Andrew Toney, it is his 3rd personal foul. Marcus Johnson, who has had a terrific 8-point third period, goes to the bench. So in there now for Milwaukee, we have Bridgman up front, along with Alton Lister, Lanier at center, Pressey and Winters at guard. So we have one shooting guard in Winters, one shooting forward in Bridgman.
And one shooting center in Lanier.
So the accent with a little bit more strength up front is on the shot situation. But don't forget Lister and Pressey can play defense too and do it well. Bucks by 1. Malone has 10 rebounds. Doubled by Pressey, Lanier, and Bridgman. Triple team, and they get the ball away from it. Under a minute to play in the third. Junior Bridgman and Ivoroni fighting for the loose ball, and they'll give it to Philadelphia.
Now here's a triple team on Moses. He gets up, stays up, and here's trying to get position to get the ball. He gets the ball, and there they are. And they came up with the ball.
Lister. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. You're looking at the game clock. Tipped away by Winters. A fine play by Winters, disrupting what Philadelphia tried to set up. They have 7 seconds to attempt a shot. Milwaukee by 1. They led by 3 at the half and 5 at the first period mark. Andrew Toney fall away, way off. Lanier tried an outlet pass. Malone took it away. Malone again. 18 on the shot clock. And a loose ball foul on Ivoroni, his 5th.
Good defensive position by Alton Lister on that because he had real strong position.
He wasn't to be denied, Bill, huh? 5 on Ivoroni, and Clement Johnson, who has taken over the role, you might say, as an enforcer for the Sixers, replaces Mark Ivoroni or Malone. Malone goes out, Ivoroni stays in.
And now the Sixers have effectively a very large front line in Clement Johnson and... No, they took Moses out, so it's not. I thought it was going to be a big
as I said, Ivoroni didn't go out. Malone did.
Right.
So the two centers, Moses Malone and Bob Lanier, are on the bench. Lanier has scored 9. Malone has 18. 9 of them here in the third period.
Yeah, he and Sidney Moncrief both came alive in his third period.
Sidney Moncrief with 10 points. Malone with 9. The Bucks by 3, and the last shot being set up by the Sixers. Andrew Toney feeding Ivoroni, who's fouled with 2 seconds on the clock. Harvey Catchy, who's come in for Bob Lanier, second foul. Ivoroni played in Italy last 3 years. In there for rebounding and defense, not so much for scoring. Anything they get from him is gravy. 26 years old, a free agent rookie, originally drafted on the 3rd round by New York.
As hard as he has to work, that's no gravy, Dick.
That's right. All right, 2 seconds to go. Timeout. A 20-second timeout with 1 second to play.
I thought they wanted to get that a little sooner so that they could get the ball in the front court. What they wanted to do was pass the ball to the front court and call timeout and hope that you get a chance to get a shot off with 1 second to go or get a foul.
So with 1 second to go, it's 72-71 Bucks.
Turning to the Bucks lineup, 32, Brian Winters.
Brian Winters, good three-point shooter, is into the game for Milwaukee. Marcus Johnson will inbound with 1 second to play in the 3rd. So it's Lister, Bridgman, Pressey, Marcus Johnson, and Brian Winters. Clement Johnson will defend against Marcus. 1 point lead for Milwaukee. They have 1 second. Alley-oop doesn't work. And the Milwaukee crowd and bench thinks Lister was fouled. That's the end of the 3rd period. 72-71 Bucks, and we'll return to the arena after this word from your local station. I'm just not hearing myself, folks. No, not when the crowd is semi-up. I'm forcing it. Yeah.
Hey, Sandy, do you hear that play? Let's see what it looks like.
See, Mike, I said Ivoroni was going out, then I changed it to Malone.
No.
I did make that correction, just so you know that. So I didn't come back on it. All right, we got final period, 72-71, 72-71. What are you doing coming out? The play? You got a replay? Okay.
The NBA on CBS is sponsored by Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time. Gillette Atra Razor, the twin blade razor that pivots for a close, comfortable shave. And by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products.
Delightful city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with the Milwaukee River running through, and Lake Michigan, Beer City, and a fine Midwestern community where players like to live and work. And we are at the Milwaukee Arena where the fans are enthusiastic as they're trying to see their Bucks break into the win column against the 76ers in this Eastern Conference best-of-7 final. Philadelphia winning the first 2 games at home, trying to make it 3-0 here. The Sixers have won all 6 of their playoff games thus far, but they all have been struggles, and this is another one.
You know, I was talking to Billy Cunningham yesterday, and he was saying that he was never known as a good defensive player. And now he has a defensive team. And I've watched his coaching moves and everything, and they are defensive, dominated by the defense.
Marcus, Junior Bridgman hits the shot off of the screen. 3-point lead for the Bucks. They were up by 3 at the half. Bucks have played fine defense against the Sixer guards. Andrew Toney has 13, Cheeks 9, and both of those players have averaged over 20 in this series. Malone up top. Rebound, Bridgman. Bridgman made his presence felt down the stretch in game one in that fourth period to send the contest into overtime. Here's Winters with Clint Richardson guarding him. Richardson and Tony the guards. Moses Malone the center. Clement Johnson now at power forward. Bobby Jones at small forward. Winters to Pressey. Off the rim. And a foul. Loose ball foul called against Marcus Johnson, his third personal. First team foul on the Bucks in the final 12 minutes. Mark Ivaroni with 5, Julius Erving with 4 personal fouls for Philadelphia. Moncrief has 4 for Milwaukee. Moncrief in there with Pressey on defense. Driving in is Tony, gives it off to Malone. Blocked by Alton Lister. What a play by Lister. The Bucks trying to make it a 5-point lead. And a foul against Philadelphia on the pass into Lister, and it's going to be against Clement Johnson. They get Clint Richardson. Richardson with his second foul. And the first Philly foul of the final period. Allowed 14 fouls before the penalty. Pressey. Banks it in. Should Pressey be shooting?
Well, Pressey's a good shooter when he stays within his range.
And obviously his range can't be too far out. Richardson into Clement Johnson. With the shoulder in to Marcus Johnson, traveling against Clement Johnson.
Now the Bucks have to capitalize on these plays right now that they're getting lead, so that when Philadelphia makes that run, that they'll hopefully come up for the Bucks. That is, come up short.
2 minutes gone by. Two straight baskets by Paul Pressey.
Now Billy Cunningham is upset with his defense because you're supposed to get help from the weak side. The weak side help was not there. And when you got to do that, you got to take him out. You got to make a change.
Here was the alley-oop play to Paul Pressey, who has scored 2 straight baskets, and Milwaukee leads by 7 with just under 10 minutes to play in the fourth period.
It's all right.
The reason I took the replay is because it's easier to you finish your thought to do that.
Right.
Instead of the start, stop. All right. Let's see who's in the game for them and what's doing it. Giving me all this stuff? Or is it just to throw to Pat? What are you giving me?
Applications also will be available citywide beginning June 1st.
Coming up next, the Colonial National Invitation, third round coverage from Fort Worth, Texas. It has not been a pleasant day weather-wise. To get a report on what's happening in Fort Worth, let's go to Pat Summerall. Dry in here, Pat Summerall, where Milwaukee has its biggest lead since 23-15. The 76ers have not had a basket in the last 4 minutes and 5 seconds, where they've been outscored in this period 6-0 rush. Julius Erving and Maurice Cheeks back in the game. No surprise. Cheeks drives and gets the basket.
And he's the man of the hour for them most of the time. When they need a big hoop, he's the guy that comes up with it. But he runs the offense for them, and then a lot of times he'll surprise the guys. But you surprise the guys by taking the shot, and because they expect him to make the pass, but he's been the key man so far, and most of the games he's come up with a big basket, especially in that first game.
Clement Johnson with his first personal foul and the second team foul. And that may be his second personal. Alton Lister, blocked by Clement Johnson, but retains the ball. Marcus Johnson, ball knocked away. Paul Pressey. This is the shot. Clement Johnson coming back. Cheeks running the court against Winters. Basket counts and a foul. So Maurice Cheeks has taken over this Philadelphia ball club, down by 7 points, and has scored 4 in a row and could make it 5 as Winters picks up his third personal foul and the second team foul against the Bucks.
Now here's he outruns Marcus Johnson there. And Brian Winters has no chance.
Now Don Nelson's going to counter with Bob Lanier right now. Cheeks with his 5th straight point. And now the Bucks lead slice to 2. And we can expect it. Lanier is coming in without Malone. Marcus Johnson on a pump fake on Bobby Jones. Lister tried to keep it alive, but he knocked it in the hands of Irving. 8:43 remaining. Cheeks. Oh, come on. Irving. Not Irving, but Clement Johnson.
Call it traveling on Clement Johnson.
Traveling on Clement Johnson. Right.
Turning in the box lineup, number 16.
Bob Lanier is coming back in the ball game. He has 9 points. Billy Cunningham has not gone to Moses Malone as of yet, so we'll see what Lanier does against Clement Johnson. There's Malone.
Billy Cunningham is what you call an action coach, not a reaction coach. He coaches.
Steal by Cheeks. Look at this.
He doesn't make a substitution reaction to what the other coach does, but to how the game's going for his team. That's what I mean by action coach.
The 76ers have scored 7 in a row, all by Maurice Cheeks. And it's 78-78 with 8:13 remaining. So Maurice Cheeks has come back, and now Bobby Jones on another steal. 2 on 3. Irving feeds Cheeks. And the doctor. This is the rebound. Milwaukee running it back. Marcus Johnson against Clement Johnson. And the tip in and the follow-up by Bob Lanier. Milwaukee has the lead again.
As a result of a good defensive play on the other end.
Maurice Cheeks, the man with the ball, and he may be the most dangerous Philadelphia player on the court. Irving in the corner hits Julius. Now with 17 points. Ties it again with 7.5 to go, 4th period.
And when he's in that jump shot, he is tough to guard.
Lanier did everything but score. And now Philadelphia. Biggest lead for them has been 4 points. Julius gives it 2. And Don Nelson says, let's talk it over.
And that's what I mean when he's coming. Good pass back then, Richardson. And you don't have to say anything else about that.
An 11-2 spurt by Philadelphia, and the man who keyed it all, number 10, Maurice Cheeks. You know, Maurice Cheeks is just having some kind of brilliant. Get what? Yeah, Jim Fitzgerald. Is he the president or something? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Don't shoot him. Don't put him on until you know what his role is. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. With a two-stroke lead over Mike Reed, Bruce Litsky, Gary Hallberg, and Fuzzy Zeller in the chase at the Colonial National third round. Action following the game. Maurice Cheeks has really spurred a rapid and decisive comeback by Philadelphia. 11-2 in 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Philadelphia has taken an 82-80 lead, and in the spurt, Mo Cheeks has 7 points, a steal, and a rebound. Lanier comes back and has a chance to tie the score or to put the Milwaukee Bucks in front as he ties it up at 82 now.
Now what Bob did, he's got the position here, and he just went on and shot the ball before he's been given 2 or 3 fakes, and he's throwing his rhythm off a little bit. On this particular case, he just went ahead and shot the ball.
So Lanier can put Milwaukee in front, and he does, 83-82. Moses Malone remains on the bench. We have just under 7 minutes to play. Cheeks and Clint Richardson are the guards. Clint Richardson pulls up at the baseline and hits. He scored all 7 Philadelphia points in overtime in game number 1. So we have had 7 lead changes and 8 ties. Lanier working against Clement Johnson. Milwaukee wants to get it to him as much as they can before Moses Malone comes in, slapped up, and Clint Richardson grabs it away from Lanier. Philadelphia, Julius Erving going against Bridgman. And Philadelphia is up by 3. Keep in mind, as the doctor now with 21 points, maybe his best playoff scoring output. We'll check. He had 19 in game 1. Check what he did against New York. Winters going in against Moncrief, and Clint Richardson commits the foul on Sidney. Here's
Julius going in, and Junior Bridgman was trying to get the offensive foul, but Julius went right around him. He has great body control. I guess that's a redundant statement.
Clint Richardson commits the foul. That is his 3rd personal and the 4th team foul against Philadelphia. 21 points by Irving is his playoff high this season. Lanier inside. So Bob Lanier now with 7 in this final period. They're going to the money man. And it's 86-85 Philadelphia. 5:40 to play. Cheeks drives. Cheeks again. In the crowd, but he's
got to call that steps.
Yes, sir. I rarely see Maurice Cheeks travel.
Well, no, that was good defense because he had to give him a fake, and when he went to shoot, they reacted so well that he had to come down with it.
Well, you're going to see big Moses Malone coming in a moment. Never see him down the stretch without full power, 100%. Moncrief driving, draws the foul. It is a 2-shot foul, and it would be anyway. It is the 15th foul against Philadelphia. It is on Clint Richardson, his 4th, and here's Malone.
And that's real early for Philadelphia to have to be able to limit so that every time they foul now it's a 2-shot.
All right, Malone is back for Philly. Catchings comes in for Lanier, but Lanier's been hot lately. Why is Nelson doing this?
Because he wants to give him some rest so that he can go down the stretch. Now they've been getting some good performances outside shooting from Bridgman, and Moncrief have been able to score, and so has Marcus Johnson, so that they have enough offense out there, and they want to give him some rest so that he can make the play down the stretch in the last 3 minutes or maybe 4 minutes.
So what they want, Milwaukee, judging from what you say, is the fact that they rather have the defense inside and the offense away.
Now, see, this is one of the penalties that Nelson has to pay for making that change, is that he has to rest Lanier at a time like this.
5:20 remaining. We're tied at 86. We've had 9 deadlocks, 9 ties in the game. Clint Richardson. And another clutch basket by Richardson, who has 6 points in the game, and Philadelphia keeps the pressure on. Winding down to 5 minutes to go. Fourth period. If Philadelphia wins, they have a 3-0 lead in the best of 7. If Milwaukee wins, they have a chance to knot it all at 2 apiece tomorrow afternoon here on CBS. The shot clock, and Bridgman comes off the screen and ties it again. Irving, guarded by Junior Bridgman. He's been hot outside, and he remains so. 23. 8 points in his fourth period for Julius Irving. 7 for Cheeks. Lanier has 7. He's on the bench right now. Irving's in his last 4. Short for Marcus Johnson, but Sidney Moncrief saves it for Brian Winters. Hatching. That's not the man you want to shoot. Bobby Jones drive.
Great pass and play by Clint Richardson. He came up with that rebound and started to break and made a great pass to Bobby Jones.
Matches the biggest lead of the game for Philadelphia, 4 points. Six on the clock. Bridgman. And Milwaukee, with Malone getting the rebound, Milwaukee's going to have to start hitting that perimeter shot. They're down by 4 with 3.5 to go. Fourth period. No basket traveling against Moses Malone. And Lanier's coming right back in. They didn't have Lanier on the sidelines for long as Philadelphia forged in front. So Lanier comes back in the ball game.
I thought that Don would try to get him back in between 3 and 4 minutes, and this is 3.5 minutes, so he split the difference there.
Timeout, Story. Milwaukee can't squander too many scoring opportunities the rest of the way. Winters.
Well executed play.
Only his second field goal of the game, but it comes at the right time. And it's a 2-point game. Philadelphia leading. And the crowd urging on the Bucks. Malone. Basket counts and a foul. Moses Malone, not to be denied, went up there and said, I don't care what you got around me, I'm going in.
That is a good example of great strength, because here's where he gets hit. Right there, he's holding the ball. He still has the strength to get that shot up there, and he gets a good bounce.
And a timeout has been called. 2:50 remaining. Who called the time? Television? Oh.
Dick, I want you to start thinking about that.
Milwaukee used the 20. What do they got? Yeah, they got 2, and the other's 3 plus a 20, right? What's our MVP thing here, boy? I tell you what a pain in the who do you like as MVP? Julius
or Cheeks?
Or Cheeks. Well, we don't know yet, so we'll give it to you when the game's over. Milwaukee. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell, live Milwaukee Arena. Game 3, best of 7 Eastern Conference Final. Philadelphia leading 2-0 in games and leading 94-90 here. We're on CBS, home of the NBA Championship, which you will see exclusively on CBS. And now Milwaukee has an uphill climb with 2:50 to play, Bill.
But they have plenty of time. Now, what you have to do is go down the stretch in a championship game is try to play as much as you can your normal game, but make sure that you don't make fundamental errors, such as let them get offensive rebounds, 3-second calls, traveling, and things like that. In other words, you want to go down every time, get a good shot, and get back and play the strong defense. And strong defense means come up with the ball. See, sometimes you knock the ball loose and not come up with it, or you make shoot and get an offensive rebound, then you have pretty good defense. The good defense is finished when you come up with the ball.
That's what the Lakers did against the Spurs last night. Malone with his three-point conclusion. It's 95-90 and the biggest lead of the game for Philadelphia right now with 2:45 to go. You saw the timeout story. Milwaukee has 2. Philadelphia 3 full timeouts and a 20. Moncrief controlling. The Sixers trying to do it with their defense. This game they came back with their offense sparked by Cheeks. Off the rim, rebound Bobby Jones. They can't afford a foul, although the Bucks do have one to give. Now Milwaukee has to clamp it. 2:20 to go and running. 95-90. Philadelphia is 2:15 away from a commanding lead in this series.
And you will notice how much Maurice Cheeks handles the ball in situations like this.
Richardson rims it. The rebound. Philadelphia ball. It was last touched by Milwaukee. Jones inbounds to Cheeks. Cheeks was the man who spurred the comeback. Philly was down 78-71, and in 2:48, 11-2 spurt put him in front. And Milwaukee hasn't tasted the lead since. Less than 2 minutes. Malone. A big basket for Philadelphia. A big one indeed, and the bench echoes that. You're looking at a bench that is the most animated it's been all game. 97-90 with 1:40 remaining. Winters going for 3. Lanier keeps it going. Marcus Johnson. And the ball's just not going through for Milwaukee. And now Philadelphia is in definite control with 1:24 and running.
And the defense has come to the fore as usual. They come out stretch. Milwaukee not only is not hitting that shot, but they're only getting one shot.
Illegal defense has been called against Milwaukee at this stage. That's the first call of that kind today. Biggest lead of the ball game right now, and Don Nelson has to be wearing a worried look. The Sixers have won 6 games in their playoffs by a margin of 5 points. Good defense by Moncrief and Winters. Richmond drives. Under a minute, 5-point lead. They've got to get the ball back as Milwaukee, and Philadelphia wants to play keep away. And Lanier and Malone hug each other.
There's not very many guys strong enough to do that.
This was a big basket by Moses Malone, Bill. A very big one.
He works and he gets that position. And this is a tough shot, and he got the good bounce too. 2, 3. Good bounces.
Foul is on Lanier, his 5th. Down the stretch, we've talked about Cheeks and what he's done, but let us also credit Clint Richardson and Bobby Jones. 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists in the last 3.5 minutes for both of those reserves. The bench has helped, no question about it, and Milwaukee calls a timeout. 47 seconds remaining. It's 99-92 and a 7-point lead. And now Milwaukee has 1 timeout remaining. And that sand in the hourglass is really working against them.
Not only that, but they're running out of time, Dick.
We never got a count at all. Never. Because the floor guy was giving us 3-2-1. That's all we saw was 4-3-2-1. No, not at all. If the stage manager, if we hadn't seen 3-2-1.
Oh, really? No, we don't hear that. Dick didn't want to hear that.
How come we don't have failures out here? What? Sorry. What do you think? Cheeks MVP? What do you want to do? Cheeks. Cheeks of Philly Worth. You got to. somebody. Name on might as well be right. We're at the Milwaukee Arena where the Philadelphia 76ers are 47 seconds away from taking a 3-0 lead over the Milwaukee Bucks. We've been talking about Richardson and Jones off the bench and Marie's cheeks. Moses Malone, no matter how he starts a game, you know toward the end, and Marty Aronoff, our statistician and right-hand man, tells us that in the first half, Malone, as we know, scored 9. He has 16 points and 10 rebounds in the second half. So the question is, the rest of this series, I don't know how long that's going to be, but in the championship series, if Philadelphia survives, what are teams going to do to try to neutralize, at least for one game only, Moses Malone?
Well, as you progress in the finals, semifinal, quarterfinals, the teams you play will be better. And so in the Western Conference, they have 2 pretty good centers playing. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Artis Gilmore are 2 pretty good centers, and so it's not a matter of what you're going to do with Moses. He's been a dominant player for a number of years, and he's going to be tough to handle, as you might say. But the guys that he's going to be playing against are also tough to handle.
Malone,
and it's not over here yet.
No.
This series I'm talking about, this game seems to have slipped away from the Bucks, unless they come up with something spectacular, and they're very rare spectacular things in the playoffs in terms of like 2 3-point plays or 3 3-point plays and things like that. Plus you have to shut the other guys out.
And they have the people that could do them, but it looks bleak for Milwaukee. Bobby Jones. Milwaukee needs a bundle of 3-point plays. Alton Lister going to the hoop against Malone, and they get it here. And now Julius Erving says what kind of a Philadelphia has the ball. And the
game, you can't give up until you're actually eliminated. If you're down
40 years old next month, and Milwaukee is out of timeouts, and Cheeks tried to steal. Winters misses the 3-point attempt. And it's Philadelphia's game. The 76ers, who won more games than anyone else in the regular season, have not lost in the playoffs. Winters fires on the 3-pointer. Moncrief the rebound. Inside, they'll give Moncrief the basket. 103-96. Junior Bridgman with 24, Moncrief with 19. The leading scorers for Milwaukee. Moncrief had 10 rebounds.
And bases Philadelphia.